Now you can hear us.
So welcome to Counter Slam. We're discussing everything War Machine Hordes and the Iron Kingdoms for 10 minutes.
Okay. Now you can hear us.
So welcome to Counter Slam. We're discussing twice. Welcome twice, guys. All right. So anyway, let's start over.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So lock and load stuff.
Man, I tell you what, we have more issues with microphones on this show than probably anything else I've ever seen. So professional. What the heck is going on? Okay, so anyway, so a couple of things we want to talk to you guys about tonight are two things. One is post lock and load. Now, after we've done our video where we can chat online, or we chatted online with the various guys. The other thing we want to talk about is the tokens set that Broken Egg Games just put out. For those of you who saw it on Facebook, I actually had a hand in helping to create a lot of these tokens, at least the initial design concepts. Not every faction, but a good number of them, and I'll get into those, and we'll take a look at some of the images of the tokens and stuff too, so you guys get a chance to see what those look like, they're pretty cool. Yeah, so anyway, while we're doing this, I'm actually gonna bring this up here so we can see, so people talk to us, we can see what they're saying. Okay, so I'm watching the Twitch stream right now. I know some of you guys are watching on YouTube. I don't have the YouTube stream going up. If you guys want to go to twitch.tv/counterslam, I can see what you guys typed there. So, yeah, here we go. Okay. So now if you guys want to chat with us, at least we'll see it here. I got Brett sitting here with me, so feel free to ask questions. We'll be more than happy to answer anything you guys want us to talk about. But in regards to lock and load, so we came back. So Brett, what were your initial reactions to lock and load now that it's been a couple days since we've been back?
Yeah, other than the long flights getting there, it was great. Friday I didn't do much because I was still really tired from the flights, but I played in Masters at 2 p.m., but I ended up dropping after the second round because I was too exhausted. I couldn't think straight. Other than that, like, it was cool to see people. Like, they had a banner of all the Privateer Press pins that a press ganger owns, which was really cool that they saw when you were walking in.
What was the girl's name?
Myrrh. Her full name's Mercedes. She likes to go by Myrrh, though.
Oh. And so this is a funny thing. She actually won a raffle at Lock and Load with a lanyard with a bunch of the pins on it.
So she has more pins now.
She has more pins. She had the whole complete. Was it a complete collection?
I think it's a complete collection, except for a couple of like the tournament pins. Like, I don't think she has like. I think there's Iron Gauntlet pins that she doesn't have a couple of.
Sure.
But apparently she has some of them because like some people have multiples of them. Like, I don't want these.
Oh.
It's just like it's kind of funny. It's just like, oh yeah, I've won like 3 Iron Gauntlet tournaments. Yeah, I don't want these here. Have them.
Sure. Yeah. Oh man.
No big deal.
That's so funny. Oh man, you know, one of the things I just wanted to mention too was, like, I was really happy with was the turnout of just people who stopped by to say hello, who recognize us from the show, who you know, went out to eat with us, talked with us, played games with us. It was so cool just to get a chance to meet all you guys. You know, seriously, I've been to War Machine Weekend, I've been to Adepticon, I've been to Gen Con, and never before have we as, you know, hosts been received like that. It was so awesome just to like I said, just be able to talk to so many of you guys. Yeah, so it was definitely an honor. It was really cool. You know, big props to, you know, TJ, who spent a lot of time with us,
TJ is fun.
Watching our table while we were going to get food and stuff, so we didn't lose it. We recorded a game with one of our viewers. His name's Kyle. I'm actually going to be uploading that episode in the next day or so you guys get a chance to see our first Mark III game at Lock and Load. We take the new Legion caster versus the new Scorn caster, and it's a great game. I take the Hellmouths, which are a ton of fun to play. And seriously, if you're playing Legion, you need to get 2 units of these Hellmouths. They're that good.
They're so dumb. They're not easy to kill either. Is the hard part about them.
Well, you'd think that. I'm not gonna ruin anything. Okay, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not spoiling anything. You guys have to watch the episode. It's awesome. Trust me, you guys want to see this episode. Okay, so Brett, so you were talking about the Stone Shapers, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited for them. They're defense 13, armor 13, because like a lot of things in Circle, their defense went down. So druids that used to be 14 are now 13. But the things I know he has is he's magic ability 6. He's got the stone spray, like the black clad, and he's got condition. It's not called condition, but it's the same as condition, but for wolves. So that way they have access to a little bit more fury management as well. And they also have repair, which I think it's D3 plus 1 on them,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they're 3 points on Mark 3 and they're field allowance 3, so
Wow.
like you get behind one construct and you repair them for 3D3 plus 1, or so
Plus
it's
3,
or,
yeah.
yeah 3 plus 3. So
It's pretty good. Wow, that's cool. Oh, I can hear you now with the video still cuts out and flips. What?
what?
Oh, Mike Welling.
Oh well,
It's not flipping on our screen.
yeah,
so
so it's fine for us, but
Hmm.
anyway, I'm really excited for them at least.
Oh, hey, sorry. If you're watching this and it's jumping for you, know, I'll tell you what. I'll bring it up on YouTube too, so you guys can talk to us there. But yeah, so YouTube. So if you go to our countersign page, we'll have a live YouTube thing. It'll have the wrong title because I haven't titled it yet. Oh, it's probably running right now with the wrong title. So it's probably like some Mark II game that we just played.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, hang on one second. We'll bring up the live feed. So Michael, if you want to go there, yeah, it still says countersign survivors Scorn versus Legion. Okay, so here we are. All right, now we're on YouTube too. So if you guys want to chat with us there, you can. I think someone's about to walk in here because I don't think they know they can't come through here. Okay, so here we go. So let's keep talking. All right, so in regards to the new stuff, I also picked up a Prime Conflux, which I'm super excited about. That thing is really good. I can't wait to start playing that on the field. I want to see how it does. And I'm going to do a model review of that too once I get it painted up, which should probably be in a few days. Those things are really detailed. It takes a lot to paint those things. But I'm going to try a more simplistic color scheme. I'm going to make it look like a Decepticon. It's going to be pretty cool.
And I'm really excited for Tanith.
Oh, Tanith
is so good.
Yeah. Gosh, I think most of the new BattleBox casters are pretty sweet. They all seem to be doing fairly well. I know some people who played Scorn didn't necessarily care for the Scorn one, but
I don't know why. His feet is ball busting.
Yeah, his feet is disgusting, and you'll see that in the video too, because Kyle uses it on me, and I'm like, what? Lilith 3 and Mark 3 is almost not all right. She's that good. Going stationary and having access to snipe, or basically shooting things and make things stationary, and then when you have access to snipe with her Rat 8, Rat 10 standing still, oh my gosh, with a protector standing behind her.
Yeah, that gets guard dog now.
Yeah,
it's like
so good. Not be able to give back strike bonuses on her. Yeah, it's insane. The whole thing is just so good. But I played against that little 3 list against Jason yesterday with the I went against Magnus 2 in Mark 3, and that was crazy. So but yeah, so that sorry Jason, I know that sucked. Just getting shot so many times on the feet turn was insane. So anyway, but yeah, and you know, some things obviously changed in Mark 3, some things didn't, and you know, I can only really speak for the factions that I play, but I know in Legion a lot of our power pieces are still our power pieces. So it's not a huge change, although I know Lilith 2 got nerfed a bit. A lot of people aren't sure what to do with, or I'm sorry, not Lilith 2, Veil 2. People aren't really sure what to do with Veil 2 right now, which is fine. She needs to be redefined a little bit. She was winning a bunch of tournaments, so
yeah,
that's okay. So I don't know. So anything else at Lock and Load that really caught your attention, or anything that's
other than I can think of, I just know it was really cool because we actually got to talk to a lot of the guys at Privateer Press because they're all there because it's their convention and everything. I got a lot of people to sign my Primal book, which is everything. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I just had a good time hanging out and talking to people.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was a great weekend just to sit around. I didn't even get as many games in as I wanted to, but it was still so cool just to sit around and talk to people, even waiting in line, you know, to report the games, which they really need to fix that. It's so bad.
They just got a new person that is supposed to be handling all that, but they only started a couple weeks before lock and load, so I know they were probably pretty busy before that. So hopefully that's a thing that they will work on.
Yeah.
So I know there was a comment about that on the forums and stuff too, like how like they were asking why there was so much and everything, so much of a problem with that. And then like another thing they mentioned on the forums was the keynote there, but was pretty short. But they said that they really they respected our like feedback and everything, and they'll think about that for the keynotes in the future. So at least if they are taking it as a learning experience, at least, so that way they know that we do want more from keynotes usually in the future.
Yeah, it was really short. I know. I think there's only one person out of the Counterslam crew that was actually upset with the keynote. The rest of us were kind of taken a bit back. Just how short it was. I thought we were going to go get our models and come back, and they were going to finish it. Because it was so short. I was like, well, maybe we're coming back. I don't know. They're like letting us just look at our. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because people aren't going to, they're going to be looking at their models and stuff. So yeah, that was.
And one thing that I think they planned on this keynote being shorter because they were expecting everybody to be very excited to get their models and all the cards and everything. But with all the leaks that happened, that excitement kind of wasn't as much there. And there's nothing they can really do about that then. Because just like imagine if you didn't know like what most of your models did, you'd be like, okay, let's get this keynote through, and so I can see my cards. So I think if it was more like that, then not as many people would be more as upset about the keynote.
Yeah. So speaking of spoilers, things that got spoiled. Actually, well, one of the announcements today on Facebook, some of you guys might have seen, at least in the Scoring forums, Broken Egg Games is releasing a new token set, and they are partnering with Privateer Press, and so they were able to use like the faction logos, things like that. They are acrylic color tokens, and they look really good. They look really sharp. I'm not just saying that because I actually helped make some of them, design them, but because I didn't do a lot of the texture, I didn't do any of the texturizing. I just did a lot of the concept layout, and some of the things were in color initially, and I'll get into that here. So when we came out with the token set, originally I was approached by Broken Egg Games because I was working on a couple other projects, and I was working hopefully on another project with them after this, and I can't get into details about it, but it's gonna be really cool. But the first thing we were talking about doing was they asked if I could help design layouts for a new color token set, sponsored by Privateer Press. We have that access to logos, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So initially I was the only concept artist, or I was the only artist they had, and so I was designing them and coloring them. And then we brought, eventually we came in and brought Chris Johnson on, and he was our first kind of texturizer and additional artist, and he was able to take like what I had done and make it look amazing. Like,
it also helps speed things up as well too.
The difference was fantastic, and Chris has mad props for me. He's a great guy, and I really enjoyed working with him and talking with him. Like we get up early in the mornings because that's when he'd be working on the tokens and stuff, and I work from home, so we would chat early in the morning. I'd be having breakfast and stuff, and we'd talk about the tokens we wanted to work on and stuff like that. And
yeah, but they do look great. Like I think I'm really excited for the circle set because the Animus token is really cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you guys some of these tokens tonight. I'm not going to show you anything that hasn't already been spoiled online, but if those of you who haven't seen, you guys might get a chance to check it out. They don't have a release date yet on the tokens, but they're hoping to have them all released by the end of the summer is the goal. So there's still a lot of designs that we have that need to get approved by Privateer Press. Once all the rest of those are approved, all I have to do is just put the names on the tokens and print, and they're going to be good to go.
Yeah, so, and like one thing with these tokens, they're not going to be like the Privateer Press ones. They're going to be like actually have like the printed names of all your spells and abilities on them.
So they are, they're very intricate, and I'll go ahead and show you guys some here now. So let's get to some of these so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the very first token, and when people first approached me about doing these tokens, I was like, all right, if we're going to do one first, we're doing Crix, because man, like might as well start where everybody's at this point, because it was still a Mark II.
And now everybody's joking that Retribution's this new Crix.
Yeah, we actually had not, when we started this, we didn't know about Mark III, and our goal was to have it done by War Machine Weekend, but then as soon as they announced Mark III, the guys at Broken Egg, we were like, we're going all in. We're just going to get them done. We're going to knock them out. We're going to hire a bunch of artists. We're going to knock them all out, and we're just going to go with it and until we get them done. And sure enough, man, we got probably a good 90 to 95% done by lock and load, like the concept design's done. So I think there's a few more tokens. Like I think a few of the Convergence and a couple of the Mercs and like one of the Troll tokens I think are the only ones we're still working on. I think, but but we've just been knocking these things out. So this is what they look like though. So the first one I did on Crix, and the first thing I did was work on the upkeep, all the upkeep tokens for each faction to kind of get a general layout for them. So this is the first one I did was the Crix one, and this is what it looks like. This is after the texturizing and everything like that. So the one I originally did didn't look quite as cool on the coloring side, but it looks amazing now. The glowing green Necrotite on these things looks just so good. It really makes these things pop. And I've seen the printouts of them, and they're really easy to read, and they really pop, which is really good. That's one thing we really wanted to do. And so Crix, first faction we got done. And it looks really good. So a lot of the tokens, the token things we have are things like upkeeps, spells. Oh, sorry, I got it here. So we have the feat tokens, the mini feat tokens, non-upkeep spells, general effect tokens, upkeep spells, focus, and stuff like that. So we've got quite a bit for each faction.
And you'll have Animai too as well.
Yes, Animus on the Horde side things, which I'll show you a couple of the Animus tokens too. So this is the Crix upkeep one, very cool, and just like that one starting out. Next I'll show you guys the Cygnar mini feat. This was designed and colored all by Chris. Like I said, just fantastic.
The detail and like the ruffles on the flag in the background is great.
The texture even in the dip of the flag part of it is really great. The detail in the guns, fantastic. So yeah, like I said, Chris did an amazing job. I think he texturized all the concepts that he did, and he worked on most of the War Machine factions. I just mainly really helped out with Crix and like the upkeep tokens and a couple of the other ones from some of the factions, but like the Menoth feed, I think I had some concept design for, but it was but all of it was, most of the rest of it was designed by Chris. So I did most of the Hordes factions, so I did ironically enough I didn't do Legion. I was one faction I play. By the time I was getting to it, so we'd already got another artist on who came by and did Legion. But I did I did Minions, Trolls, Scorn, Circle, and Crix were the main ones that I did. So so that was Cygnar mini feat. The next one is the Menoth. This is like a general effect token, and you can see this is battle. I'm guessing this is the choir.
Yeah,
battle.
Hymn of Battle.
Hymn of Battle. So so that's kind of what it looks like. I love the marble texture on it. The fire effects, just really cool. Yeah, Chris really knew what he was doing when he started working on the Menoth stuff. Lots of fire stuff in the Menoth. You guys will really like it. So the next we're going to look at is we're going to get into the Hordes factions. So now we're going to look at the Animus tokens. And one thing I really want to do with the Animus tokens, this is like something when I came up with the design for it, I really wanted to do this. Because initially when I designed this token, it was actually a prey token for Nightmare, who was grabbing, it was his claw grabbing the token, and it had the Crix logo behind it, and it said prey on it. And it was so cool looking. And I was like, you know what? Let's do that with the Animuses. Let's have a beast, one of the beasts from each of the factions grabbing the Animus tokens. So
they turned out amazing.
So here's the Circle one. Just to give you, this was one of the first ones I did for Hordes. So you can see it's like a Warp Wolf grabbing the token. It's got the wood, it's got the stone, it's got the Circle logo, it's got the vines, the thorns, and it's got that claw. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I
like the texture of the wood in that too is so awesome and well done.
Looking good. And we also had access to all the various fonts that Primateer Press uses too, so it'll actually have each of the actual faction fonts in all the tokens too. So that was the Circle Animus, so that one being that one. When I saw when I did the concept art for Scorn, I actually hadn't seen the texturizing for it until I think just before Lock and Load, or at Lock and Load. It was very not very long ago, and so we'll look at the Animus here for Scorn, which I think whoever did the texture on this did a phenomenal job. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, because on those fingers and nails, it's just like
so cool.
It's so cool.
And again, the rope textures are great. The blades are great, and so this is kind of a general theme.
Oh yeah, and there's like the stitches or like lightning in the behind the words too. I didn't notice that the first time.
Yeah, and so with all the tokens, the various things, like for example, the Animuses have sort of the same shape, the upkeeps have the same, like they all have the same general shape. So when you look at it across the table, you're going to know what type of spell it is when you see it. You may not, even if you can't read it, you should know what it is. That's kind of what we were going for. We also knew when we were designing these we had to go with the various color schemes from the factions, and just grab the various elements from those factions and try to make these things as authentic as possible, because we wanted to make sure that they were utilizing the various elements that these models have. So you'll see some of these tokens are very reminiscent of a particular model. They're, the designs are recreated from the actual model art from like the books or concept art or something like that. Like a lot of these tokens draw heavily from those elements, and they make them look very authentic. And I'm glad that that we kind of have done it this way, especially with the different colors. We tried to pick a thematic color scheme that sort of was repetitive throughout all the tokens too. So again, you would know what faction, you would know what type of token it was when you see it hit the table. And so you obviously with the Scorn, it's kind of the red, black, gold, and silver is kind of the overall theme for that. So with Circle, it's the stone, the wood, the thorns,
and the
green, yeah. So and the glowy green. So that's make it, and it was cool. That was one of the things that when we first knocked out all the concept art for the initial upkeep tokens, that was like the really cool thing. That's kind of how we had basically figured out how we wanted the rest of the tokens to look, and what elements we wanted to use. So we're going to take a look at the Scorn upkeep token. This was the first Scorn one I saw that was done texturized, and it was pretty cool. So here it is. Again, you've got the it's almost like an immortal blade. It kind of looks like, and it's got the spikes in the back and the blades coming over the front, and sort of those little spikes from, like, I think that's like Makeda that has those, sort of like it's like Makeda's flag kind of thing behind the token. It's got the armor and then the rope on the top, which looks really good. So again, just fantastically designed. And I like the orange Scorn logo. It really makes it stand out.
Yeah, it does pop.
Again, just these concept artists are just amazing. So next one we're gonna take a look at is the Scorn mini feats. A lot of Scorn ones, because the Scorn ones all got, not all, but a good portion of them got leaked online. Yeah. So this is again
really cool.
That is a flag from one of their standard bearers, I believe. I think pretty much right down main details on that. So that's pretty much what that flag is. And of course, at the time too, when we were designing mini feats, we had to look at the models that currently had mini feats that we could pull from. So like the Crix one, for example, you guys will see later. It's what factions have mini feats? Well, that's probably what we used. That type of thing. So this is the Scorn mini feat, and again, great. The tatteredness on the flag at the bottom. Man, I wish I knew how to do that stuff. I know how to do the concept art and everything else. Like, man. I can play in Photoshop. I do that, for a living. But man, I think they're using like other programs for this. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's that. Now, the Fury and Focus tokens don't say Fury and Focus on them. They actually just have the logos to represent. Very much like the Focus and Fury tokens now. So the Scorn Fury token, I had a lot of fun designing. This was actually a great token. So that's it. So, and they're going to be round, and you can stack them up into a pillar if you want to. But this one, like the blades coming off, those are the blades from the Beast Handlers type thing. That's actually what those blades are based off of. But again, great color scheme.
Yeah, and again, you have the bright orange Scorn logo, so it pops and stands out.
Yep, and so I can't wait to you guys see the elements for the other factions. They look so cool. So there was the Fury, and then so lastly, the one that got spoiled online was the Scorn Feat token, and the Scorn Feat token's pretty good. It's got here, I'll show it to you. So the Feat tokens are a bit more complex. Most of them are fairly complex. Some of them aren't, but even the ones that aren't look fantastic. Honestly, the one token that I think all of us agreed on that we wanted to look the best were the Feat tokens. So if you didn't play with anything else, like honestly, I just want to order all the Feat tokens, and because I think those
great.
They look amazing. All of them look amazing, and we put, like I said, this is when we spent most of the time on were a lot of these Feat tokens. They're very detailed. And this one, obviously, you know, just I think it's Xerxes armor or something like that. Like, it's so good, so good. Yeah. So I, you know, again, I had just seen the color and texturing on the scoring tokens just a few days ago. So this, you know, I love to see what they did with the initial. I mean, if you imagine this all flat and black and white, and, you know, with the different layers on top of each other, that's pretty much what it looked like when I started.
And you get to see this.
I get to see this, and I'm like, man, those guys just did amazing. And I want to say a special thank you to the artists. I know one guy named Mitch with. Oh, as you asking about the release dates, we mentioned this earlier, but the target release date is by the end of the summer. So we're still waiting to see. You know, they want to get them done. They basically have to just get a few more approved by Privateer Press, and then they're going to go to print, and they're just going to get done. So it shouldn't be too much longer. And we've been super excited, sitting on. I've known about this for several months now.
Yeah.
We've been working on them. And you know, we've been knocking them out, and I just, you know, we've been like, oh, just, you know, there's been a few things like you notice on the show. I've been like, oh, there are things happening, you know, with Counter Slam and stuff I want to tell you about that we're involved in. I can't really say anything yet, and there's still more. There's still a lot more, guys. There's more stuff that I still can't announce yet, and I'm like, man, this
sucks. You're so excited about these things. Like, be excited with me, but I can't tell you.
I know, and that's the way it goes, man. It's like that teaser trailer for the new Hordes faction, man. We just gotta give you a little bit at a time, man. Just gotta. Yeah, I wish we knew what the new Hordes faction was. I know a lot of people think it's Grimkin, which could be true.
But I get some people said like Hollow Men.
Hollow Men, yeah, Grimkin. Gosh, I first thought it was Infernals with the quote that came with the trailer. It seemed very
good.
That
would have been so cool.
Yeah, it seemed very like, oh, you know, what you do determines where you know, good or evil, how where you end up, and I'm like hell, like Infernals, you know, demons. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, teaser was awful. I was, you know, I do have to say, in the audience, at first I was kind of upset that they didn't say what the actual faction was going to be.
Yeah.
But the other video that they did, I laughed out loud because they were like, okay, so we got the new theme forces coming out. We want to get them in your hands as soon as possible, and then at the very end, it's like December 2016. I'm like, we want to get in your hands as soon as possible, 6 months from now.
I know.
It's like, oh, okay. You know, and I'm excited to see what they do with the theme.
Yeah, when they said as soon as possible, I'm like, okay, so I'll have to wait like a month and a half for Gen Con.
Yeah, Gen Con.
And then they're gonna release them there, and then there's like December 20. I'm like, what?
Oh, that was so. Which means if they do release the book in December, let's say for the
probably means it's gonna be a War Machine
weekend. Yeah. So they'll probably have something there. Yeah. So that was interesting. But yeah, I was laughing because I was like, oh, 6 months from now, we're going to get them as soon as possible. Is that as soon as possible, guys? I don't know. The new steamrollers are up on on War Room, which is kind of cool. They announced that.
Yeah, the design. I played with one of them today. The design layouts for where like things go are a little different, but like it's not quite like what they kind of said that they were going to be. They said they're going to be completely different, and I think you were going to see like non-symmetrical scenarios, and it's like that's not true for what we have so far. So
well, the new objectives I saw online, the new cards for the objectives were interesting. They definitely changed a lot of what they can do. Some of those are pretty powerful. Yeah, I was like there's one that's like, you know, -2 range on spells if you try to cast them.
Cast anything or anything targeting within like 4 or 5 inches of it too.
Yeah.
The one I took today was the new fuel cache one.
Oh, you repair a jack or something? No, that's the stockpile. If a war jack's next to it,
maybe it wasn't fuel cache. Maybe no, I was pretty sure it was though. Yeah. But like it still has the thing where if somebody hits it and doesn't kill it, they're set on fire. But instead of like free charges or anything, it's you place a 4-inch AoE cloud effect where the center of the AoE is completely within 1 inch of the objective, which is really cool. Especially when it's harder to get like things like concealment and stuff anymore. Where like I put my stalker just right next to the objective in a cloud and be like prowl. Yeah. It was fun, but they're definitely very interesting.
Yeah. And so with that too, with everything changing, especially the objectives and the scenarios, you know, we got a lot of work to do here on Counterslam as far as making these parts of the videos, like our intro videos and things like that. So one of the reasons why we sort of have to take a little bit of a break is to get a lot of this stuff done. So if you guys were asking, so if you would pick, if I picked that one, you wouldn't have a spell stats me easy today. Oh.
Oh, okay.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
No, so yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of work. Now, I still would like to try and get a game or two in before Gen Con. I think we definitely have enough time to get something like that going. But like as far as getting, you know, our format and our you know, matchups ready for the next season, it's gonna take a little.
Oh
bit of
yeah,
time.
and also in the book there's rules for new like terrain that is really weird. But there's like a caustic puddle where if you go into it and you don't have flight, then you get like you suffer continuous effect corrosion. And even if you do have flight, if you become knocked down in it, you take corrosion. And there's like burning wood, burning forests that do pretty much the same thing but with fire,
Oh,
which is
okay.
really cool.
You know, I always thought it'd be really cool that if you shot something with continuous effect fire, like on a template, that part of it was on fire. Like that, I was actually, you know, I had thought about that for a while. Like, that'd
There's
be
also
really cool.
one that's really cool where it's just like you put like a thing that's just, it's fog terrain, so it just like it provides concealment. And it works like a cloud effect, but like starting on the end of the second player's first turn, you like roll a d6 on a 1 or a 2, it like dissipates.
Oh.
Which is really cool. So it can be like you don't never know for how long the fog's gonna be there.
You know, we could do that with motion terrain on our show. That'd be really cool.
Mhm.
Like to do it where it's got a bunch of fog patches out, and then if it goes away, just take it off the table and it'll go away.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. All right, so now I'm getting ideas for season 3. So
Yeah, exactly.
there we go. So we'll have to take a look at the different scenarios and different terrain types, see if we can get them in there. Because we can do acid puddles too.
Mm-hmm. Now, like and also what was
And
it?
fire, yeah.
Yesterday I played at Saltire against one of the fans of the show. He was there, and we did a scenario out of the Primal book, and it was really interesting. It was the close quarters style scenario, so there's 2 flags really close to the middle of the board, but you had a secondary deployment zone that was on the right hand side of the board edge to your right. So you had like the foot that's in the middle of that board edge and 4 inches up, and then you had the middle 2 feet of your normal deployment zone, so you didn't have the other foot that's on the sides, and you had to deploy at least one thing over there. And that was really interesting. It was also it's not really okay because I put like my whole unit of Ravagers with their 2 solos over there, and they went like on the bottom of the first turn, ate through like half of his infantry with the mini feet.
There's probably at least one unit or thing that in each faction that is like so broken to do that with. I was thinking with Legion, like having the Raptors come like basically almost ambushing you. That is not okay. the Blight Blades already have ambush, so they can already do that. You know, it'd be really funny though is to do that, have them up deploy, and then the next turn you got a whole other unit coming in after that.
Because it didn't say nothing lost ambush or anything. The only thing it said, but if you deploy anything in that side like deployment zone, it lost advanced deploy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you're already so far up there.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, it'd be interesting to see if that type of deployment, you know, screws with. Ben was mentioning screws with steamrollers and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure anything that ends up being too broken, they're going to end up fixing.
And I think they announced their first narrative league coming up in September, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see if they have any unique rules and scenarios for those coming up now. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and so like one of the things too, I mean, obviously seeing the new casters that they're coming out with at Lock and Load, seeing the Sea King, or is it Sea King?
Yeah, Sea King.
Sea King with the ship on his back, like they're seeing the plastics there. I mean, it wasn't like an assembled model. It was more like a 3D print, is what it seemed like. The plastic was very rough, but and it was a little more see-through too. So I could tell that it wasn't the actual like built model. So I wouldn't expect the Sea King to be like.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that one's going to be a hard plastics like the new ones usually are, and that definitely wasn't.
Yeah. So we've seen things like you know, Azrael, the new Legion Beast, and Loki, and the new Circle character Beast, and the new casters, the Journeymans growing up to their regular, and they just look so good.
I know. I can't wait for like. Una, like I'm probably gonna paint up Una real nice.
Yeah, all we can do is describe him to you because we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, because
Fiona looked like a demon. I mean, she was like a
Fiona,
beautiful demon, and she was
beautiful
awesome
demon.
looking.
She had a huge, long, armored ponytail.
Yeah,
it looks like she could stab somebody to death with it.
It's pretty cool. I was like, she didn't have a reach in the back arm, swinging back.
She still has her same weapon too, so that's gonna be insane on a Warcaster.
Yeah, yeah, 4-inch reach on a caster. That'd be pretty sick. And so I have to imagine she's going to keep a lot of things she has. So she's probably going to keep Prowl, Evasive. She might get 2 attacks each turn, with various attacks. But she'll have spells.
Yeah.
That's going to be good. I have a feeling
she'll have Fury to buy more attacks and boost, and then she'll have spells.
I have a feeling she's going to be a beast caster. She reminds me a lot of basically Absalonia without wings is what the best way I can describe it. But her horns are cool. I think are cool looking because they kind of come out and go up. And they just look so good. The design is, I can't believe that, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, and you got to see Callus too, which is like a satyr.
Yeah, he's like a dragon satyr. He looks like he has Thagrosh's arms and Thagrosh's legs, but it's like they cut a V out and put Callus inside.
And then like for the extended longer part, it's like the butt of a rake.
So okay, so I don't know if I got a chance to talk about this on the last time we talked, but the. With Azrael, right? So I thought that was going to be Thagrosh 3 because he has the same head, the same horns, the same wings, the same arms, and he's got war spears. So I was like, it's Thagrosh, but it's like he's just missing his legs. And then I realized Callus got him. He cut Thagrosh in half. Callus got his legs, and Azrael got the upper torso. So.
Yeah, and then Thagrosh is dead. You can't play him anymore.
Yeah,
there
you go. First caster dead. First caster kill.
But Azrael looks looks so good.
He's gonna be a lot of fun to paint. Man. There was something else I was gonna talk about. Something else that got spoiled.
There was Fiora 3 and Alara, and it got shown.
Fiora 3 looks amazing on that flaming horse. That looks sick.
To me, it just looks like a Ponyta.
Yeah.
Freaking Pokemon.
Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Ben mentioned the Hydra. So the Hydra, now, let you guys know what's going on with the Hydra, right? So they talk about this at Lock and Load. So what happened with the Hydra is that the reason why it's taken so long to come out is because apparently when Privateer Press got the pieces to put together the Hydra, it took them an entire day to put it together because it's that complicated. And they said they have to create such a detailed instruction manual for it that if you put together the wrong piece at the wrong time, you are screwed. That's how complicated.
They're having a lot of trouble with the getting the model to cooperate with them, and that's why it's taking so long.
Yeah.
And then it takes so long just to get those changes made, sent off made into the hard plastics again, and get back again just to have them maybe not work again.
Yeah. So, look, Scorn players, I feel the pain on this thing. Okay, look, I understand it sucks that it's taken so long to get this thing out, but. Man, it sounds like they are just having a day with that thing. I was like, wow. So, yeah, Jose was like, I want my Hydra.
Like, speaking of Jose, he got he got a bronze medal for his painted Imperatus in the painting competition.
So, Big Jeff on the show, you guys saw probably a few episodes ago, who was on the show. A lot of people were laughing, saying he needs to be on the show more. He's going to have to be on, shows that kids can't watch, but
sure.
But so Jose got his Imperatus and decided to paint it up. Now Jose won a gold in one of the Privateer Press magazines.
No quarter,
and he won one of the gold painting contests
for his Zal too.
Epic Zal. So Jeff asked if he could paint his Imperatus, and so he did, and he painted it with this kind of bluish, really it's almost like a blue with a light bit of green in it, color armor. And he's got silver wings and gold trim, and
then like lots of orange,
of glowing orange on it. And the blades are kind of glowing orange, but everything is marked up and chipped too, like he's been in a lot of battles. And that is so cool.
It was really cool.
And he got the bronze. He did really good. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, again, that was pretty good. Now, the other model they had I want to show you guys about was a Thagrosh model. So they had the Thagrosh Painter of Everblight model done, and what it was on a stand, and in his hand, instead of the little Warjack, he had a little Thagrosh in his hand, little Painter Thagrosh, and in that Thagrosh's hand was
another little painted Thagrosh.
So it was like Thagroshception is what everybody called it. really cool. I don't know
It
if that
was
guy
so
ended up
cool.
winning anything, but he should have.
I don't think he got a gold. I think he got a silver for it. Or I think he. I'm pretty sure he got something for it, but I think it was just a silver or a bronze because he said himself he had some mistakes in the paint job and everything, and it's not a sculpting competition. So
I just want to buy.
but it was still really.
I just want to
cool.
buy a little Thagrosh, right?
Yeah, just a little
it's like
tiny little
war,
Thagrosh.
it's like the little Warjack, right? And so, and to have a little Thagrosh and like put him on the base of an Archangel or something like that, and say there's Everblight, I don't know, or something.
and,
It's so cool.
and also speaking of Jose and funny things, that Agonizer torture page for the stuffed Agonizer.
Okay, so Jose created so those of you guys who are scoring, you don't have to be a scoring player.
You really
to
don't.
appreciate this. They're so funny. So basically, okay, so they sell a little stuffed Agonizer plushie, right? And Jose bought one, and so we're talking at the show, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to put this in various situations and take pictures of it, like being tortured. So Jose created a page called the Agonizer Torture page, and if you guys can subscribe to it on Facebook, and it is so funny. And one of the funniest pictures he has is him in front of a laptop looking at the Scorn forums. He's like, ah.
And we also got one with like when we were on our flight back, our flight got canceled because of severe thunderstorms. So you have him like just because the Agonizer looks like he's just rolling his eyes back. It's great. And so so we got him a picture of the flight screen. It says canceled. It's like, oh, our flight got canceled. And we have him like squished between two of the seat trays, getting run over by a car. It's great.
Oh, it's so funny. Jose's sitting on in one picture. It's do you remember what took the golden painting? I don't.
I know and there's all different categories. I know for the one Grandmaster was Gobber Chef by some guys. Me and Jose played a 4v4 against on Friday night. But I think they have a YouTube channel. It was called Hobby Night in Canada.
Okay.
And so they're Canadian, and he had a Gobber Chef that he was actually the only one to get gold.
Wow.
in there, and so he got the Grandmaster, or at least gold for the single model.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sure a lot of those models are going to end up in the next snow quarter. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm sure they'll have all those painted models because they were really good.
They have some really awesome conversions too, on them.
Yeah, the Private Press probably took pictures of all those.
They
models.
do take pictures of, I know at least the award-winning models.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've been posted or where they get posted, but I know Shoshi, does a lot of good pieces. She had a freebooter and a the Doomy 3 that was, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. I have no idea how she got that work done.
There's a War Machine Hordes painting page on Facebook if you guys want to subscribe to that. My guess is a lot of those models ended up on that page. I haven't been on there to see it, but I'm going to guess a lot of them were on there at the time because they were just really good. And a lot of people who were painting were in the painting area like for the whole show.
Yeah, that was cool. To go up there and see all the some of the studio painters were up there too, just to see them doing stuff and everything.
Yeah, there's it was really cool. The Thagrosh though, man, that was awesome. Yeah, so that, like I said, it was a fantastic show. We had a great time. Like I said, just talking to you guys, meeting you guys, and hanging out. It was great. I definitely want to go back. For some of us, it was choosing this and Gen Con, so some of us won't be there at Gen Con, but
I know, like Jose, Tom.
I haven't even bought my ticket yet.
Probably you were talking about going back next year to Lock and Load, so
yeah,
because it was a lot of fun. But I will be at Gen Con all 4 days, so if you see me, say hi. Ask for a game. I'll be in Iron Arena all 4 days.
I took the days off of work so I could go and be there. So hopefully I get my ticket soon.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta save up some cash. It's like $100.
Yeah, they went up in price for this year. So,
but I think they spread to the Lucas Oil Field or something too.
I think so.
Yeah, that's probably cost them a bit of money. So, So anyway, guys, that was pretty much our rendition of Lock and Load. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? Or?
No, I think I got.
All right, everything. So so if you guys need a chance, I'm gonna repost this video once we get it. I'll get this all done, so you guys can, if you came in late. But we talked about obviously some other things at Lock and Load, plus the new Broken Egg Games tokens that came out. I'm sorry, they haven't come out yet. They're going to be coming out. That I had some hands in helping design, and I got a chance to showcase some of those tokens off. And I can't wait for you guys to see the rest of them because they're great. They're really great, and I'm really happy that they've people have been really happy with them online. because that was the that was very gratifying, because after putting a lot of work into these things, like seeing people really excited for them, I'm super stoked. So and thanks to Broken Games for bringing me on board to do that too. That was a lot of fun. Had a great time, and so great. So if you guys have any questions in the YouTube video, feel free to leave in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer anything else that maybe we missed or glossed over. If you guys want to know more information about things, and we'll try to knock out another episode or two here in the coming weeks before Gen Con, and then hopefully after Gen Con we'll be able to hit it pretty hard, so you guys get a chance to see a lot more games. Just keep doing it, baby. Just keep knocking it out. That's all I can say. We have more players on. Gonna have who knows? There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening, guys. You guys are gonna be really excited. I'm telling you. So we're all excited here. So it's gonna be great.
We're excited about things we can't tell you about yet.
Soon. Yep, soon. So anyway, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Counter Slam.